Ryan Murphy. Ryan Murphy was the first person in my professional life who continued over and over and over again to throw me the ball. You know, you are only as good as your opportunities allow you to be. And if you don't have the opportunity, it doesn't matter how good you are in your bathroom mirror.
One of my mentors, Maureen Booker, out of Philadelphia. It was 2020, and I had been talking about Pearlie for years. The rights for this show had been tied up. I told her, I couldn't get the rights. We'd been trying, and she lit the fire. She was like, "Go get those rights."
There was a gentleman named Mayo Rowe who owned a restaurant in New York City called the Paris Commune, who employed me when I was in my late 20s, where Jonathan Larson used to come and sit with me, and we would listen to the recordings we would make of Superbia. He gave me a job that I could kind of go in and out of, which allowed me to kind of go and practice what it is that I really wanted to do.
I would say Marlise Yerby, definitely. Marlise is a black woman who was nominated for her choreography for Rent. And I was just really interested in seeing how she did it, how she navigated it. And for her to always be so supportive and loving and encouraging for years now, because there's nothing like someone that you look up to actually like holding your hand and saying, "I'm with you."
And I've been thinking a lot about my teachers today, and specifically Marsha Norman and Christopher Durang, who passed away last month, who I studied with at Juilliard.
And the other person I want to shout out is Jed Harris, who was my directing teacher at Carnegie Mellon, and I was there for pre-college. He was my advisor. He taught me all 4 years. He's now retired. It's so funny. I was in his first class, and now he's retired. You just need one or two of those people to be able to see not even what your talent is, but what your potential is.
My mentor, William Cusick, he was the one at undergrad who would sit with me every time I went to a production meeting and did not know how to or where to hang a projector.
There is a woman called Alexandra Reynolds who was a dancer and is a movement director who I first met on The Theory of Everything. Her artistry and the way that it's not just movement, it's all about the way she looks at the world.
My theater director from high school, his name is Timothy Walton. I'm always talking about him because he taught me like everything I knew before I met Michael Greif or went to college or whatever. And so he's a huge reason. He coached me on my audition to get to the public and play Allie there.
All of my teachers, from my voice teachers, D. Michael Heath, Joan Lader, my acting teachers, the people who have really supported me, my therapists, and also particularly I want to give a shout out to Jamie Bertoluzzi, my dresser on Spamalot. I love you.
I could name 1,000 people, but I have to name my mentor, Florence Birdwell, who was my teacher, helped me start dreaming. And I mean, she's no longer in this world, but she's always with me.
I mean, I think that the most pertinent person to talk about on this day is my singing teacher. Mark Malin is his name. He works with a ton of great people in the UK. He's based in the UK. For anybody who has ever come and seen the show and thought I sounded surprisingly good, that's because of Mark.
I'm going to cry. I mean, my drama teacher in junior high school, Anne Rattray, who died last year, she believed in all of us, and she saw, we were these awkward kids in this really awkward phase of life, and she gave us a place to put those anxieties.